Okay, good morning everybody who's joining. We're going to start standing. So if you can find just a standing position somewhere, you can probably see most of me. And just welcome in your morning. So we are going to start with shaking one of our wrists out and just sort of getting the wrist to flop back and forth, make the movement a little bit chaotic. Work is so organized. My week was so super organized, no spontaneity. Bring in the other wrist to start to shake out the arms. Bring in the shoulders to start to shake it out. And then put a bend in the knees, just start to bob up and down. So I've got a gentle bend in my knees. I'm kind of rocking back and forth on my feet. And I'm just beginning the morning by just shaking it out. There's so much tension that builds up during the week. And so we're just beginning to shake out the body and sort of start to bring in some lubrication to the joints and some bounce. So bounce, 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 bounce in the knees. And then you may want to just put a bit more vigor. So you're really shaking it out now this morning. Good morning. And maybe shake the hips side to side. And then let's bring in some sounds. So deep breath in through the nose. Out through the mouth. And do that again if it feels good. Deep breath in. And then just make the movement a little bit more vigorous. So we're bouncing and we're shaking and it's chaotic and it's fun, dare I say. And then we're just gonna start to bring in a bit more of a bounce and maybe a bit of a jump. So I don't care how old you are, you should always be jumping, just releasing any tension. And we're here for about 20 seconds. I really want you to go for it, guys. Like, good morning, take your hair down, really, really loosen up. Really mean it. Just shake it out. We've got about 10 more seconds here. Whoa, you're really going for it. Shake it out. Release any tension. Bring in the sound. That's it. Okay, not too much fun. This is a yoga class after all. It's got to be a little bit serious. And release. Relax down. Bring both palms facing the sky. Relax the shoulders. And close down the eyes or lower your gaze. And just be with that sensation for a moment, that high frequency, your heartbeat. When you're ready, deep breath in through the nose, part the lips, exhale through the mouth. And then blinking the eyes open, inhale, raise the arms all the way up above the head. Palms meet. Exhale, put a generous bend in the knees. Fold the body in half. Uttanasana, forward fold. Fingertips brush the earth. And then out to the sides, like wings of a butterfly, all the way up again. Let's take that 3 times. Inhale, reach the fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, fold in half. Bend in the knees, so much so that the fingertips can graze the earth. Inhale, all the way up. Last time, exhale down through the center line, bend in the knees, belly to thighs, fingertips to ground. Inhale all the way up again. That's it. Exhale down through center, bend in the knees. This time when the hands reach the ground, put so much of a bend in the knees that you can make your way down to the ground. And let us begin by lying on our back. So lengthening the legs out long. Allowing the torso to reach the ground, skull reaches the ground, and the arms relaxed. So as you lie down on the ground, adjusting the volume. In fact, apologies, you need to rotate so that your head is close to the device. So bring the head closer to your device so that we can continue the sequence from that position. And as you lie down on the ground, allow your whole body to meet the earth. Allow the arms to flop out to the side. And simply let the body rest. So the beginning of a beautiful and bright weekend. Resting on the ground, can you allow your bones to get really heavy? Bones heavy. And simply allow your muscles to melt off of the bone as you bring your attention to the breath. Deep inhale through the nose, feel the belly rise. Exhale, belly falls back to spine. All the attention on the rise and fall of the belly as you yield to gravity. Nothing to do, no one to manage. What a relief. Your time, your yoga practice.
جملگی در حکم سه پروانه در جهان عاشقان افسانه اولی خود را به شمع نزدیک کرد گفت حال من یافتم معنای عشق دومی نزدیک شعله بال زد گفت من سوختم در سوزش سومی خود داخل آتش فکند آری آری این بود معنای
The people of this world are like the three butterflies in front of a candle's flame. The first one went closer and said, I know about love. The second one touched the flame lightly with his wings and said, I know how love's fire can burn. The third one threw himself into the heart of the flame and was consumed. He alone knows what true love is. Deepen the breath, take a deep breath in through the nose, part the lips, sigh it out through an open mouth. Love, Ishq. The concept of today's summer yoga class is Ishq. And although I mostly associate the word with Bollywood movies, today I want us to explore love in all its infinite, intimate forms through the Persian Sufi poem that was just played to you. So extending the arms out to the sides now, so both arms are lying on the ground in a kind of T shape, so horizontally, and taking the right palm to the ground, left palm facing up. So the right palm just earths to the ground and the left palm open. And with that, can you roll the head towards the left, looking at the open palm? And then, like a Mexican wave, you're going to turn the left palm down, right palm up, and the head is going to roll towards the upward facing palm on the right. And continue to take those circles in your own time. So coming into motion in the body. And you're rolling the head, taking gentle neck rolls right and left. And the hands are alternating between raised palm and closed palm. And can you sync the breath with the movement? Whatever feels right for you this morning, inhaling and exhaling. Love is the fountain of every other positive emotion. In the book Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh, he says that all emotions arise from two basic energies, love and fear. And there are really no other sources. Continuing to roll the head right and left, allowing the palms to alternate. And Attar in his poem refers to three levels of experience of love's depth. First is the knowing, the witnessing, the seeing. Second are those who lightly touch and feel love's heat. And third are those who go headfirst and are consumed by it. And so today we have a poetic invitation to explore what this feels like in the body. So from here, when you're ready, have both palms facing up and put a gentle bend in the left knee. So you're putting a bend in the left knee so the sole of the foot reaches the ground. And then from here, you're going to pour the weight into the right side of the body, and the knee being bent is going to move towards the ground on the right-hand side. But it's almost as if it reaches to the ground and then you change your mind and you come back to lie on your back and the sole of the foot reaches the ground again. So we're rocking onto the right side of the body and the left knee is edging towards the ground, and then you think, no, wait, change my mind, I'm coming back the way I came. And keep doing that a few times. So you're rocking onto the right side and play with the idea of almost going into something and then retracting, and keeping the sole of the foot on the ground if that feels good, but rocking onto the big toe edge as you tilt and then the pinky toe edge as you come back. So trying that, opening the hip up, that's it, really nice. And then the next time you do that, allowing the knee to roll all the way over to the right-hand side and using that as a kind of invitation to pull the weight of the body into the right side. So the left arm needs to trace a circle, a semicircle above the head like a snow angel, fingertips tracing all the way to the ground so that both palms can rest on each other. And you're rolling the weight into the right side, but the left knee is still bent, so the left knee meets the ground. And then you're rolling onto your belly, don't worry if you roll off your mat, and coming onto your forearms into Sphinx pose. So the arms are in Sphinx pose, all 10 fingers spread and palms of the hands meet the ground. Weight through the forearms, shoulders stacked above elbows, and the left knee is bent, the hip open, up towards the left elbow. From here, can you pull the weight into the right side of the body and then lift the left hand all the way up to sky. So the fingertips are reaching up, you're pouring the weight through the right side of the body, lifting the belly button off the ground, and as you exhale, ripple back down to the ground, left palm meets and chin tucks to chest. Can you inhale, root through the right elbow, the right forearm, fingertips lift, exhale, ripple back down, belly button to the ground. Take that a few times, enjoying spinal rolls as you lift and exhale back down to center. And it really is a rippling. So you're spreading your butterfly wings and your chest and your heart are lifting up to the sky. And then you exhale back down to ground. Last time, pouring weight through the right side of the body so that you can lift the left fingertips high. And as you exhale, allow the palm of the left hand to reach the mat. Now extend the left leg all the way long, so both legs long. Extend the left hand all the way long. And pick up the right hand and snake it into the space underneath the left elbow, so much so that the hand creeps forward and you can rest and lie on your right elbow. From here, bring both knees into your chest, so you're lying on the right hand side, and the left hand paints that snow angel all the way above, lifting the knees and the feet until you're rolling back onto your back, and then shuffling back into the center of your mat. allowing the hands to come into the horizontal and lengthening the legs out in front of you. Let's take the other side. So this time, bending the right knee so the sole of the right foot finds the ground. Having both palms facing the sky, take a deep inhale and exhale, allow the right knee to reach over the lengthened left leg, and then you change your mind and bring the knee back up to center, sole of the foot to the ground. And rock back and forth like this, just paying a small visit, a small taste to the left side of your mat. So we discover ishq in the body, love in the body, by first paying attention to the marvel that is our physical form. So continuing the motion. And for those of you who heard Deepak Chopra speak this week, he said something along the lines, and I'm paraphrasing here, that if you are not marveling at how you even exist, how you even have come to exist, then you are lost. And then the second thing we'll play with today is the difference between light touch and going all in. So right now you're light touching the leg over and back. And it's part of the journey of annihilation to experiment with that taste before you go all the way in. And then lastly, we may even feel the burn of the fire. Let's see. Okay, when you're ready, allowing that bent knee to roll all the way over onto the ground and using the hand to trace a semicircle above the head as you roll onto your belly with that knee bent. So the right knee is bent and you're coming onto your forearms. So both forearms to the ground and elbows stacked beneath the shoulders. All 10 fingers rooting into the ground. And can you, through rooting down through the elbows, can you lift the heart? We cannot love without the heart. And bringing the right knee and extending the foot out so that my heel is not towards my buttock, but my shin is parallel to the side of the room. As before, pouring the weight into the left side, can you lift the right arm all the way up, fingertips to sky, and then ripple back down to ground, chin to chest. Inhale, lift from the belly button, twisting from the torso. Exhale, back down to center. And find a motion that feels good in the body this morning. Opening the hip and the psoas and the hip flexors on that right hand side. Last time, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Can you extend the right leg so that both legs are straight and extend the right arm up and away from you. Now this time the left hand has the opportunity to weave underneath the right armpit, inviting a roll onto the left side of the body, both legs straight, hug both knees to chest, take the right hand all the way up and over like a semicircle in the sand, and then allow both knees to reach to the sky, extend the legs, lying onto your back. From here, can you bring both knees into the chest, take both hands to shins, and simply rock side to side, allowing the lower back to open up. Lovely. When you're ready, take both palms of the hands to the kneecaps. So my palm is going onto my kneecap and the four fingers are spreading over the front of the knee. So it's as if I'm holding both the knees in my hands. And then I want you to lengthen the right arm, so the right knee is moving away from you, but the foot is maintaining, it's going to hover above the ground. So you're simply extending your right arm and the knee is extending away from the chest and the foot is hovering. And now rebend the right arm, bring the knee back to chest. Same on the left, extend the left arm, knee moves away from you, and then rebend the front arm. And then increase the speed a little bit, so you're just extending one knee at a time using the hands. And it's kind of like you're riding a bicycle, but we're opening up the hip joints, allowing the flexors to ease, and breathing all the while. Inhaling, exhaling, and taking this at a speed that feels good, so just cycling the legs like so. That's it. Good. And then when you're ready, hugging both knees again into the chest, and either rolling onto your side and coming up to seated, or just rocking the body back and forth until you come up to seated. And that's the fun part. So just rolling back along the spine, a little spinal massage, and then turning towards the front of your mat. So coming onto all fours, coming into tabletop. Now from here, let's pay a little knowing, a little love and admiration into the wrists. So tabletop is wrists back below shoulders and hips above knees. Now, it might feel more comfortable for your wrists to take your palms one step forward and having an angle between your wrist and your shoulders. That is up to you. You play with that. For me, I'm okay with my wrists underneath my shoulders for now. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull the weight into the right side of the body. So weight pulls into the right knee and the right palm. Lift the left hand, hover it above the mat, and start to rotate the fingertips out towards the left. Same on the right side, pouring the weight into the left side, pick up the right hand and spread the fingertips. So now both insides of the wrist are pointing towards the center and fingertips towards the side. And all we're going to do is pour the weight, so take the weight into the wrist and then just nudge the weight to the right, through center, to the left. And we're just moving into those tiny little forearm muscles that get so little of our attention, especially for those of us who are sat at a desk and typing all day long. So just moving the body right and left. Good. And then you can stay here if this is enough of a stretch for you. Or you can pull the weight into the right side of the body, pouring the weight into the right wrist, lift the left hand off the mat so it's hovering again, and continue the journey. So rotate the fingertips until they're pointing towards the knees. Now this is quite an extensive stretch, so be really gentle with the wrist. And really I've got about, I would say like 70% of my weight in my right arm and about 30 in my left arm. And then you can play with knowing a little bit more about the strength of the left wrist and pour maybe 10% more weight into that left wrist. And then play with reaching your buttocks towards your heels ever so slightly. And you should feel the front of the wrist turn on. Make sure that the front of the wrist is parallel to the front of the mat so that there's a line. And really look, have a quick look down at the left wrist. And just you know, admire it. Admire its ability, love its ability to invert in this way, in this strange way. And then when you're ready, pouring all the weight into the right side and peeling the hand off the mat, almost like that sticky glue we used to have at school that was really smelly and sticky. Peeling the hand off the mat and then invert the hand so the back of the hand and the fingertips reach towards the knee. And you can take these wrist stretches anytime. I don't always cue them in class, but they're really important, particularly if you're experimenting with putting more weight through the wrist. When you're ready, shake out that wrist on the left side and then hover it an inch above the mat. And then allow the whole hand mindfully to reach the mat like the hand is moving through sand. Now the right wrist, pouring all the weight into the left wrist. Can you rotate the right wrist, fingertips reaching back towards the knee? So much so that you come into the tiny forearm muscles in the front of the right hand. Take a deep breath here, deep inhale. Exhale, maybe there's a micro movement, a small movement of the hips back towards the heels that provides quite an intense stretch through the forearm muscles. And again, gazing down lovingly at the right hand and thanking it for all that it does. And when you're ready, deep inhale, pouring the weight into the left side, taking the weight into the left, lifting the hand up, and then inverting onto the back of the hand so that the fingertips reach the knee, but this time stretching out the front of the forearm. Again, only 10% of weight in the right hand, maybe 20. And then lifting the hand up, shaking out, spreading all 10 fingers wide, hovering for a moment, patience, above the mat. And then can you plant the hand with purpose, as if it's moving through warm sand. When we're ready, weight equal distribution into the hands and the knees, drop the belly, lift the chest into our cat and cows. Exhale, ground through the hands, round the belly to spine, lean into the back body. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart, lift the chest, rounding through the back. Exhale, ground through the hands and knees, tuck belly to spine. A few more like this in your own time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round, waking up the serpent of the spine this morning. Good. Now from here, when your neck's in a neutral spine, bring both knees to touch, feet to touch. Extend the left leg all the way out and lift the left leg so it's parallel to the mat. Big toes pointing down and gaze back towards your toe to make sure that the hip is not open, but it's lowered and release. Head back towards center. You put a bend in the back knee, reach your toes to the sky. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, keeping the left leg bent the whole time, reaching and extending through the hips. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Lovely. Exhale, knee to nose. Now, next time, the knee is lifted all the way back. You're this time going to take that left knee and you're going to weave it over the outside of the right knee, and you're simply going to touch, light touch, the left knee to the outside of the right knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to nose. Let's try that again. Inhale, lift all the way back. This time, exhale. The knee moves on the outside and just lightly touches the ground. A gentle visit, a gentle knowing, and then the toes reach again. And again. Toes towards the sky. Knee visits the outside of the right knee and comes back up, opening up through the hips. Good. Next time the knee is back, we're going to weave it on the outside of the right knee, and then we're going to plant the knee. So this time we're like, yeah, we're going to go all in. So the knee lands, and then the shin meets the ground. So now the right knee is in front, the left knee is behind, and you're in a kind of crisscross. From here, can you separate the feet? See how my feet are moving out towards the side? And then, pouring weight into the hands, start to walk the hands over to the left. And you walk it over to the left so that one hand is off the mat if you have a mat, and one hand is on, and you're framing the back knee. So the back knee is in the middle of the front hands, and the feet are widened. And all we're going to do, we've done this before, is take the weight into the hands and then just reach the hips back so that they reach between the feet. And you get a long extension through the spine, drop the head. Inhale, transfer the weight forward again. Exhale, buttocks move back between the heels. Drop the head. Inhale, come forward. So we're just rocking back and forth. It's really simple, but the hips are moving in between the back heels. Good. That's it. Okay, from here, next time you move back, can you widen your feet so much that maybe the hands start to walk backwards towards the knee, and then you inch until maybe the buttocks reach the ground and the right knee is bent in front of the left, and you've found enough space between the feet, and you might need to take both hands to your feet and wiggle them out to the side. Now, if this is very, very uncomfortable, you have options. You can lift the right knee so that the sole of the foot meets the ground, and that might take some tension out, or if that is uncomfortable, just simply come onto your knees like this. So this is Gomukhasana, where the right knee is bent in front of the left, bringing both toes out. Inhale, right arm comes all the way forward and up. Bend in the elbow, right palm finds the back, and we're stretching through the back of the right hand. And then the left hand can swim like a swimmer all the way around. And also maybe put a bend in the left hand. It's quite normal for fingertips not to reach. If they do, you can link them together. But otherwise, just have one hand resting on the back of the neck and one back of the hand resting somewhere on the spine. Take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale. Unravel the hands, place both palms of the hands on the ground as you wiggle and ride and come back onto your knees, and we'll take the other side. So coming back onto all fours, bring both knees together, both toes to touch. Let's take one cat and cow, drop the belly, lift the chest, arc the spine, exhale, ground through the hands, round the back, belly to spine. Back into neutral spine. Can we extend the right leg all the way back? Put a lift in that right leg and make sure the hip is turned down. Then put a bend in that knee so the toes reach the sky. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, knee to nose, ground through the hands. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So into flexion and then into extension. Reaching and lowering, waking up the spine this morning. Really nice. This time when the toes reach all the way back, we turn the knee so it plants and just kisses the ground on the outside of the standing foot and then comes back the way it came. Knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee comes on the outside. Just a brief light touch, a brief visit, and then back the way it came. Knee to nose. Inhale, extend. And the knee again, light touch on the outside. That's it. and then relifts. Next time the knee pays that visit to the left side of the ground or the outside of the leg, can we allow the shin to plant? So we're going all in, and then let both feet separate. So both feet come out to the side. Walk the hands to the right hand side this time, framing the back knee. So one hand maybe goes off the mat, and the back knee, the left knee is in the middle of the hand, so to speak. Both feet move out to the side. Inhale, pouring the weight into the hands, and then bringing the hips all the way back. Find a stretch and dropping the head down. Inhale, transfer the weight forward. Exhale, transfer the weight back. So you're just rocking back and forth, transferring the weight. Good, and then the feet are separating so much that the next time that you rock back, you can walk the hands back towards the knees, and maybe the buttocks reach the ground. And you might need to adjust the legs so you feel comfortable. This time the left leg is folded on top of the right leg. And we inhale, lift the left arm all the way forward and fold the hand in half so that it's somewhere along the back of the spine. And I quite like to just hold the back of my neck, give it some support. The right arm swims all the way out, putting a bend in that hand. And maybe the hand just reaches the back and you have this long length through the spine, through the pelvis to the neck. Or maybe the fingertips reach and you take the leg and you lean back ever so slightly. So take whatever feels comfortable for you, making sure that you're rooting through the pelvis and the heart is open. So head lifted. When you're ready, unraveling the arms, have both hands reach the ground, transfer the weight onto the knees, and coming back into our tabletop. Let's take our first downward facing dog. So from here, all 10 fingers spread wide, rooting into the wrists and allowing the knees to be separate. Let's put a tuck in the toes. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, ground through the hands, lift the hips high, head low, downward facing dog. And just enjoying your downward facing dog for a moment. Maybe walking the dog, so lifting one heel off the ground at a time, bending the knees, so putting a generous bend in each knee at a time. And remembering that having a bend knees with a lengthened back is always the preference. And allowing the head to weigh heavy, so maybe nodding the head right and nodding the head left, so you can release through the neck. And let's just take one sound here. So take a deep inhale through the nose and just exhale through the mouth. Good, and then put a generous bend in the knees, coming onto the balls of the feet, lifting the heels. And then walk the hands slowly back and maybe walk the feet halfway forward. So there's a meeting of the hands and the feet as you kind of crawl towards one another. Uttanasana, forward fold. So options here are having the elbows on the knees or just allowing the arms to hang. And the purpose of this is to decompress the spine. So having a generous bend in the knees, allowing the head to weigh heavy and maybe swaying right, swaying left. So just taking a moment here and putting as much of a bend in your knees if you need to so that the whole upper body can relax. Now, when you're ready, can you walk the feet together so both big toes touch and heels touch? And glue the legs together so both thighs are touching. And then put so much of a bend in your knees that the fingertips can graze the ground. And then you're coming up into chair pose. So you're lowering your seat as if you're sitting on a chair, and you're just going to bring your arms up like that. So you're sitting in a chair, Ustrasana. Lovely. So from here, a really simple movement. All you're going to do is allow the arms to drop, and then your legs are going to lengthen. So you're coming only halfway, and the arms move back. And then you put a big swing in the legs, generous swing, and the arms come all the way up. Good, and again, arms come forward and down, back and up, lengthening the legs, and then putting another bend in the knees into chair pose. And now I want you to get really loose with the movement. So the arms come all the way back, and then it's kind of like a swinging momentum. So you put bend in the knees and the arms come back up. So it's a swinging motion, but you can really find some freedom here. So if you watch me, I think the arms just come down way heavy, come all the way back. That's it, really, really nice. And starting to really let all tension go in the body. So the legs are really solid and they're carrying the weight, but the upper arms are like a pendulum swing. And so as the arms swing back, they find momentum. and they swing forward. And it's almost like when the fingertips are to the sky, imagine puppet strings holding the fingertips up, and then someone just cuts the puppet string, and the arms come down and all the way back. And can you really let go here? So it's also an option to bring your feet slightly further apart. So having your feet about 1 foot apart, and then trying that again. Inhale up, exhale all the way back. And do it at a speed that feels good for you. But I really like to just even breathe here. Inhale up, all the way back down. Really raising high. And then some of you may want to keep going like this. The aim is to raise the temperature of the body, increase frequency, and then the hands can come all the way back and link fingers maybe for a moment. We've done this before, and come back the way they came. So that's also an option. We're here for another 10 seconds. And really let go. Start to find some real release, as if you're falling in a kind of roller coaster and you're coming down off that roller coaster. And the roller coaster is going down and you're finding that release. If you feel dizzy, feel free to stop. Only 3 more seconds here. And 1. Raise the fingertips all the way to the sky. And then just as we did at the beginning, allow them to float all the way down until the palms of the hands face the sky and the elbows hugged into the sides. Close down the eyes and just be here for a moment in the witnessing state. When you're ready, step your feet together if you haven't done so already. Walk your feet to the front of your space or mat. Inhale, wings of the butterfly come out towards the side, palms meet at sky. Exhale, gentle, slow bend all the way forward. Finding a rhythm slowly all the way down. Inhale, half lift, L shape, flat back. Exhale, bend in the knees, hands find the ground. Step the right foot back, left foot back, plank pose. In your plank pose, stretch the knees, the heels towards the back of the room, equal distribution into the hands and the feet. And here, just finding a sense of engagement in the core and shrugging the shoulders, so squeezing the shoulder blades together. Good, dropping the belly. Inhale here, exhale, lower down in one long line, knees to the ground if you need to, forehead meets the ground, squeeze the elbows together, squeeze the shoulder blades. Inhale, root through the hands, lift the belly and the chest, upward facing dog, thighs to ground, belly lifted. Exhale, tuck the toes, move through bend knees if you need to, downward facing dog. So into our first flow sequence, you can bring your knees to the ground if you need to and do the beginning sequence. That is level 1. Level 2 is from downward facing dog. So pouring the weight into the right side of the body, even if your knees are down, extend the left leg all the way back and up behind you. From here, transfer the weight into the hands, bring the knee to the nose. So you can see how my right knee can be down to the ground as well. Extend the left leg again all the way back. And this time, as you transfer the weight into plank pose, can you take the left toes and just briefly kiss them, briefly touch them on the outside of the right foot. So you're in plank pose and the left leg is just, the toes touch the ground on the outside. Relift the leg all the way back up, split dog. Exhale, knee to nose. So transferring the weight into the hands and the toes. Inhale, relift. Exhale, left toes touch the outside of the right foot, crisscross. Inhale, relift. Last time, exhale, knee to nose. This time, the left leg goes all the way up and back, and the toes come on the outside, so pinky toe to pinky toe edge. And then everybody's going to meet, lower your knees to the ground. Both knees come to ground. So the right knee is in front of the left knee, and you're crossed. Very similar to exactly how we were before. That's it. So from here, extend the left leg all the way back. So lengthen the left leg. And then swivel the right shin so that the right foot moves behind you, and you come onto the shin. The back foot starts to plant onto the ground. Big toe edge of the foot meets the ground, and pouring the weight into the right side of the body. So you're coming into a side lunge. Inhale, lift the right arm up and over and circle it all the way around. So you're on your right shin, left pinky toe edge rooting into the ground, extending that leg. And just take 3 arm circles. So inhale, lift, moving past the hand. And if you can, allow that pendulum swing. So allow the arm to reach up heavy and then release. Reach up heavy and then swing down. Lovely. Last time. Left arm comes all the way down, palm finds the ground. Rotate the front of the body so that you're moving back and the shin swivels back underneath you. So the right knee is bent halfway along the mat, the left leg extended on the ball of the left foot, and then shuffle the right knee forward so that the right knee is coming more so towards the right hand, and allow the hips to lower down. Come onto the fingertips, gentle lift, lowering the back knee if you need to, or having it straight. I like having it straight. Inhale, lift the chest. Good. Exhale, replant the hands. We're coming into low lunge. So from here, you can either flip the front leg forward, or you can simply root through the hands and tuck the toes of the front foot. So you're in a kind of runner's sprinter's lunge, and then use the right hand to bring the right ankle forward. So bringing the right foot forward and lowering the left knee down to the ground. Inhale, arms lift all the way up. Now, from here, we're in low lunge with the right leg forward. Can we bring the arms forward and past the knee, and then bring the arms all the way back and lengthen the front leg? So you might need to creep the right foot forward a bit so that you can find some length and a stretch through that leg. And as you do, the arms come all the way back, torso drops like a bird in flight, and then replant the front foot, bend in the front knee, inhale, arms lift. Exhale, arms come past the front knee, lengthen the foot. You can either keep it down or lift the front toes. Inhale, relift. We're here for a moment, just getting used to this flow. Arms come forward, lengthen the front leg, lift the toes, arms up and back. Inhale, forward. Good. That's it. All the way back, lower the torso to the thigh, drop the head. Inhale, forward. Lovely. Both arms now come down on the inside of the front foot, plant the palms. Transfer the weight into the left side of the body, lift the right foot all the way back. Spread the hands, spread the knees, tuck the toes. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. So take the other side. Remember, you can have the knees to the ground if you need to. Inhale, right leg goes up and back, split dog. Exhale, transfer the weight into the hands, knee to nose. A brief visit. Inhale, lift the right leg, re-lift the right leg all the way back. And as you exhale, allow the right leg to just cross over and the toes to reach the ground. Briefly touching into the nose, re-lift the left leg, the right leg, sorry. Exhale, knee to nose. Re-lift the right leg and allow the pinky edge to reach the mat on the left side, on the outside. Re-lift, last time, knee to nose. And this time, as you re-lift the right leg and you plant the leg on the outside, can you allow both knees to separate slightly and then reach the mat? So this time, the left knee is in front of the right. From here, can you extend the right leg? So lengthen the right leg all the way back, straighten the right leg, and that gives you room to swivel the left shin underneath you so the foot comes to the outside. So you're resting on your shin and then turning the back heel down and in, pouring the weight into the left side as you have space to lift the right arm up and over. And just taking 3 arm circles like this and finding some freedom in the ball and socket joint of the shoulder as you pull the weight into the left side. Good, last time, right hand comes to the ground and coming onto the ball of the back foot, lifting the heel and allowing the shin to swivel in underneath you. And then rooting through the toes of the back foot to allow the shin to move in between the hands, lowering the hips, coming onto fingertips and lowering the back knee if you need to. Inhale, lift for a moment. Exhale, replant the hands and then ground through the hands to lift the shin off the mat. Option to let it hover for a moment, feeling love's burn, and then tuck the toes, drop the back knee if you need to, take the left hand to the left ankle and step the left hand forward. Inhale this time, straight into the movement, lift the arms all the way up, yield through the hips, front knee stacked over ankle. Exhale, arms swing all the way forward, lengthening the front leg and lifting the toes of the front foot. Forehead bows as you come all the way back. Inhale, lift like butterfly wings, allowing the heart to open, finding a seed of a back bend. Exhale, belly to spine, arms move all the way back, and taking it at your own flow rate. So really coming into a sense of meditative flow and allowing the feet to really ground you. Feet really ground you, which means that you have lots of freedom in the upper body. And if the back knee is hurting, you can fold your mat in and put the back knee onto the mat, or get a pillow, that's not a problem. When you're ready, bring both hands on the inside of the front foot. Transfer the weight into the right side of the body, step the left knee back, and let's take a brief balasana, child's pose. Take both knees out to the side, big toes touch, hips back to your heels, and walk your arms out so that the forearms reach the ground and the forehead reaches the ground. And feel free to take any variation of child's pose. If you were here last week, you can take your arms out to the side and back to your feet, or through open knees, and give your feet a little massage. Good. Deep breath here, and exhale. When we're ready, back onto all fours. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, and we'll take a little vinyasa here. So put a generous bend in the knees. Inhale, look past your fingertips where you want to go. Step your right foot forward as far as possible, left foot forward. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, release, lower body to thighs. Inhale, arms come all the way up. Lovely. Fingertips to sky, and exhale back the way we came. Arms come all the way down, folding in half, surrendering and offering the body forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Generous bend in the knees, palms find the ground. Step the feet back into plank pose. Re-establishing your weight through the hands and feet, knees to the ground if you need to. And allowing the heels to reach back so that the belly and the hips can drop ever so slightly. One breath here, deep inhale, feel the burn. Exhale, bend in the elbows. Whole lower body goes down to the ground. Forehead meets the ground. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Ground, lift the chest, lift the belly, upward facing dog. Exhale, move through the knees if you need to. Downward facing dog. So same sequence now, adding on. So pouring the weight into the right side of the body, and if your knees are to the ground again, right side of the body, lifting the left leg up and back, split dog. Exhale, weight into the hands, knee to nose. Inhale, relift the left leg up and back, and this time take the foot to the outside onto the right side, pinky toe to pinky toe edge, into plank pose. Relift the left leg up and back, knee to nose. Using the core muscles to really engage when the knee comes towards the hands. Exhale, back into plank pose, but this time the left leg moves on the outside of the right leg. Relift the left leg, knee to nose. So you're moving between plank pose and downward facing dog. And then this time, when the left foot finds the outside, if you're on your knees and you've been doing this from tabletop, can we all meet here for a brief moment? So the right leg is lengthened in front of the left. And then I want you to turn the body so you pour the weight into the right hand, left fingertips, and then the right knee can just drop to the ground. Right knee can drop, and then the right knee can swivel. So we're coming into the same posture that we were in before. Now, this is layer one, so you can turn the side body to face the side room and have the left hand on the left hip. Layer one is with a shin on the ground. If you would like to go to layer two, you can extend the right leg out in front of you and then do the arm circles. The left arm lifts and lowers, arm lifts and lowers. Good, that's it. Feeling the burn in the right arm. That's lover's burn. Left arm coming all the way up, really consumed, really going into it. Then the left hand comes all the way down, twisting the torso to front room. I quite like to pause here and opening through the right side of the hip. Then allow the left knee to reach the ground. Allow the right foot to swivel underneath. And then we're coming into low lunge. So rooting through the hands, tucking the front toe, and using the right hand on the right ankle to step the right foot forward if you need to. Inhale, hands to hips this time, and then rooting through the toes of the back foot to lift the back knee. We're coming into crescent lunge. So from crescent lunge, the same arm movement again, finding a sense of freedom. So inhale, arms come forward and up. Exhale as the arms sway forward. Can you lengthen the front leg and take the arms back and up? Drop the head. Inhale, lift the belly, lift the heart. Arms all the way back up. Exhale, offer the chest forward, lengthen the right front leg, hands back. Let's take that a few times. Inhale up and exhale. That's it. Good. And now one step further if you would like to go a little bit further. And I find this really fun. So from here, when you inhale, arms come all the way back up. And then as you exhale and fold forward, can you pull the weight into the front leg and just lift the back leg a little or a lot off the mat? And then replant it, inhale, lift. So let's try this a few times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, transfer the weight into the front foot. Take the arms back, offer the chest forward. Feel the burn in the right hip. Inhale, back up. So we're coming into a kind of warrior three. And it's only if you like, you can lift the back leg a little or a lot. Just so you're finding a sense of balance. Good. And really being consumed, really going into the body. Good. From here, replant the leg, lengthen the front leg, and then step the left foot back and in. And now giving a break to our right leg, can we transfer the weight into the left leg? And we're going into the sequence that we did last week. So for those of you who weren't here, you might want to watch before you try. So we're just going to get used to this sequence. So pouring the weight into the left leg, hands on the hips. Can we take our right foot behind us? So what it looks like is the right foot is going behind and you're coming onto the ball of the foot. The heel is lifted, kind of like a ballet dancer. Good. And then from here, the back foot, the right knee, is allowed to bend and come on the outside of the left leg. So if you put a generous bend in the legs, and then weave the arms, both arms go all the way over to the right, and then the left, and both palms reach out. Re-lengthen the front legs. Take the right leg back to where it came, so that you're standing equal footing, and I'll show you from the front. I'm going to do that again. Pull the weight into the hands on the hips, pull the weight onto the left leg, take the right leg behind onto the tiptoes, and then put a bend in the knees, so the knees cross, almost coming to ground. Raise the arms over to the right, up and over, and both palms face the left, and then the arms come all the way back. Now what we're going to do is go all the way down to ground. So hands to hips, pull the weight into the left leg, step the right foot behind, ball of the foot, heel lifted, allow the knee to cross behind, and then lower down all the way to the ground. And the fingertips can reach the ground, and the knees look like this. Good, so the left knee's on top. And then you can either stay here, if you've got stability, take the arms back, and all the way forward. This can feel really nice, rounding through the spine. When you're ready, inhale, leave the legs as they are, and lift the body all the way up. If you weren't here last week, feel free to watch and then do. Step the left foot in to meet the right, so both pinky toe edges meet. And then you're coming onto the balls of the foot. So you can have your hands on your hips if you like, or you can lift the torso. And transfer the weight into the ball of the feet, and then walk the hands over to the right. So the hands are walking over, and the feet are staying where they are, and they're untwisting. So the feet twist, 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 twist. And what you'll find is you can unravel, and you're facing the back of your mat. However you get there is fine. We're going to do it again anyway on the other side. Inhale, half lift, hands on the thighs or the shins. Exhale, lower. So now you're facing away from your device. You've got to trust me. Put a generous bend in the knees and walk the hands out into downward facing dog. Let's take the other side. So meeting in downward facing dog, if you're tired, lower the knees to the ground, tabletop. This time transferring the weight into the left side of the body. Lift the right leg up and back, split dog. Exhale, knee to nose, transferring into plank pose. Inhale, re-lift, re-lengthen the right leg. This time allow the right leg to cross back over the left and briefly visit the ground on the other side. Inhale, re-lift. Exhale, lower, knee to nose. Re-extend the right leg up and back, split dog. And then bring the foot on the outside. Good, one last time, re-lift the right leg up and back, transfer the weight into plank pose, knee to nose, and then lengthen the right leg up and back, and then allow the right leg to meet the outside of the standing left foot. If you're on your knees, just lift the knees off the ground for a moment, it'll be much easier, and then transfer the weight into the left side, and then immediately allow the left shin to meet the ground. The left shin swivels underneath, so it tucks underneath, and then the back heel comes down and in. Inhale, lift the right arm up and over. Now, option here to extend the left leg. Good. And then start to circle the arm all the way. Good. Breathing, allowing the left arm to shake. Good. When you're ready, allow the right hand to meet the ground. Turn the torso to face the ground, popping onto the heel of the back foot, and then allow the left shin to meet the ground and swivel into the center of the mat. Drop the back knee if you need to, tuck the front toes, and use the left hand to reach the front foot forward. Drop the back knee. Inhale, low lunge, both hands to the hips. Tuck the toes of the back foot and lift the back knee off the ground, crescent lunge. Inhale, arms come all the way forward and up. Exhale, swing back, straighten the left front leg. Inhale, same as we did before, you've been here before. Inhale, arms come all the way up. Exhale, lengthen the front leg as the arms come back and up. Drop the head. Inhale, re-lift. Bend the front knee. Exhale, lengthen the front leg. Arms come back and up. One last time. Inhale, lift. Into crescent lunge. Exhale, arms move all the way back. Lengthen the front leg. From here, we can try to balance if you like. So you can keep going, or inhale, rebend the front leg. Transfer the weight into the front leg. Lift the right toes an inch or a lot back off the mat. Briefly visit, and then replant the back leg. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sweep back. Lift the back leg a little or a lot. Inhale, re-lift. Last few times, really go into it, guys. Doing really well. And release. Good. I think the sports and active living team knew what they were in for. Replant the back foot. Inhale, re-lift. Good. From here, bring the hands to the hips. Step the back foot towards the other foot at the front of the mat so the feet are parallel. And you may not be facing me, and that's okay. Now, we're doing that sequence again. So pull the weight into the left leg. This time, step the right foot behind the left foot, coming onto the ball of the foot with the heel raised. Put a bend in the knees, so the knees are just crossing over, and then bring the arms over to the right side this time. Sway them up, and then land them on the left side. Generous bend in the knees. Inhale, arms come all the way back. Replant the right leg. Let's try that again. Pull the weight into the left leg. Lift the right leg, take it behind the left. Bend in the knees, maybe even further down to the ground. And then back. And last time, take the arms all the way over. In fact, let's plant them on the hips. Take the right leg behind you, come onto the ball of the foot, allow space for the back knee, and then put a bend in your knees. You may need to lift the heels off the ground to come all the way down to ground. So however you come to ground is fine. Fingertips to ground, option to take the arms all the way back, bring them forward and round. From here, can you re-lengthen the legs? And if this is too much for you, lengthen the torso as well, bring the hands onto the hips, step the back foot in, and then come onto the ball of the feet. So lift the heels off the ground, and then start to walk towards the right. So as you walk towards the right, but you keep your feet where they are, you can twist, 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 unravel, and you'll end up at the front of the mat. Deep inhale, half lift. Exhale, let it all go. Put a bend in the knees, and let's just hang out in forward fold for a moment. Deep inhale. Exhale, all the way up. Good. So when you're ready, we're going to make our way to the floor. So inhale, and then exhale, put a bend in the knees, and simply just however you find comfortable, allow the hands to reach the ground, and the heels can lift and the knees come forward. So we're in a kind of crouch position. And from the crouch position, let's just walk our fingertips out in front of us and allow the head to drop. This can feel really nice, just crouching with the head dropping between the knees and the heels lifted off the ground, but the weight is in the hips. The weight's in the hips and the fingertips just dragging back along the ground. Good. Now we're about to wind down, but there is an option here if you fancy to try a crow pose. So I will cue crow without the Harry Potter look this time. Both hands reach the ground, okay? So palms of the hands reach the ground. And the knees separate on the outside. So I'll cue it from the front. So hands reach the ground, you're in a crouch. Arms come on the inside of the legs, opening, and this might be enough for you. This is a really nice stretch. Both palms reach the ground. Okay, from here, you need to come high onto the balls of the feet so the hips lift. Shaping the sound. And you're forming a kind of shelf with your triceps. So all I want you to do is lift the hips really high. So that you go from here to here. And then walk the feet slightly closer so that the knees can hug the outsides of the elbows. And then just provide a gentle lean. So you're just playing with a distribution of weight into the hands and into the feet. Okay, so that might be enough for you. If you would like to go a little bit further, you need to allow the knees to rest on the back of the upper arms on the triceps or hugging the outside. I find it easier for beginners to hug the outside. So there's this hugging of the knees into the arms, and then just allow yourself to tilt. Maybe lift one foot off the ground, put it back down, one foot off the ground, down, and then maybe you find both feet into crow. And for those of you who are familiar with crow, bring both knees closer to the armpits and then lift. That's it. Good, so a little play here. And when you're ready, just having fingertips reach out in front of you, create lots of space for the knees to walk them even further, and then just sway the knees right and left underneath you. Take as long as you like in crow. Good, and then sway the hips to one side of the ground and bring both legs out in front of you. So, moving the flesh of the buttocks out underneath you, lengthen both legs long. Put a bend in the right knee, bring the right knee towards the chest, and then pick up the right knee with your hand on your shin and step it over the lengthened leg. Sole of the foot meets the ground. Take both hands to the shin, we're winding down. Inhale, lift belly to thigh, and this is layer one. So stay here if you like. Layer two would be allow the knee to come out to the side, the foot comes out, and you allow the leg to just simply twist until you're lying on the leg. So the right knee is bent over. And layer three, pouring weight into the left hand, put a bend in the bottom leg, and you find yourself in Gomukhasana again, as we did before. Good. And the further both feet are away from the hips, the harder the pose. And just simply having both hands to the feet, or if you prefer to stretch the shoulders out, again, just going into that sequence at the beginning and lifting the heart and chest. And we're here for a few breaths, so we're calming down the nervous system. And we're taking a deep inhale and exhale through the nose. So any position is good. I'm going to sit here, I think. And just calming down the heartbeat. When you're ready, just simply unraveling the way we came, extending both legs out, and then putting a bend in the left knee this time, whipping the buttocks forward, picking up the shin of that foot and stepping it over the other leg, and putting both hands on the shins. This is important, both hands on the shins, and then use that as an anchor to lift the heart so that the back is lengthened, long, tall spine. And then option two, allow that leg to simply come out to the side. And then pouring weight into the right hand to bend the bottom leg so that we're in Gomukhasana. And if you're in Gomukhasana, I like taking both hands to the ankles or the feet and closing the circuit. Every time we touch the feet, we close the circuit in the body. Or simply taking the left arm this time all the way up, bending the elbow and the right arm. And from here, lengthen the spine, lean the skull into the back of the top arm so that you feel the sense of opening through the heart space. And lowering the gaze, closing down the eyes, grounding through the hips, finding a sense of grounding through the hips. And now re-lengthen the left leg. Give the legs a little shake, a little love, a little thank you, a little ishq. And then coming on to a flat back for your Shavasana. And for Shavasana today, I'm going to give two options for the arms. And then when you're ready, feel free to unravel them. So coming onto the back, option one for the arms is to raise the fingertips up to the sky. Cross the right arm in front of the left. And put a bend in the elbows until the palms of the hands find the shoulder blades. So you have to reach the fingertips so high that you make space in the upper back. And then you find yourself in a hug. Who knew? Little self-hug, self-love. Or option two is just to simply have the right palm resting on the heart space and the left hand. Or you can have your hands by the side, yogi's choice. And as you do so, allowing, if you've got your arms crossed, just let the elbows fall away from the face. So really let them yield. And your fingertips can give your shoulder blades a little massage if that feels like self-love to you. And returning to the breath that is the knowing and the witnessing of love. The breath that is light touch, easeful breath. And the breath that can be consumed, that allows you to go all in, go all in. And if you've got your arms crossed, maybe you want to unravel them and take them in the other direction. So this time, left arm moves in front of right. So you can reach fingertips to sky, and then unravel, cross the arms in the other direction. If you've got your hands on your chest, you can take left palm to heart space, right hand on top. And then lengthening the legs out and releasing the arms when it feels good for these last few minutes of practice. And reminding yourself of sabba, of patience, concept we covered a few weeks ago. And of the concept of zahir and batin, our first ever concept, whereby so much change in the external environment can influence your internal space. And really resting here, really resting. Allowing the entire body to yield. A sense of the bones becoming heavy and a sense of love, of ishq, emanating throughout the body. Because we can only love others to the extent that we are really, truly loving ourselves. And that is a universally acknowledged in the spiritual realm. Rumi once said, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. What would it look like to dissolve all those barriers and just merge with Ishq, merge with love? Take a deep breath in through the nose, exhale through the nose or mouth. And keeping your eyes closed or your gaze lowered, pour the weight into the right side and the left side with the head. So rolling the head to the right or the left, just pouring the weight. Maybe the hips roll and the knees roll too. And just rocking to one side and to the other. And then ending up rolling onto the right or left side, yogi's choice, either way. And keeping the eyes closed and just sealing in these last few moments of your practice. Bringing both knees into the chest if that feels good for you. And then when you're ready, using the palms on the ground to yield into gravity, allow the torso to lift. As far as possible, keeping the eyes closed, gaze lowered, and meeting at the front of the mat to close the practice. You're coming into a comfortable seat. And when you arrive, bringing the right hand to the heart space, left hand to belly, so both hands on the front of the body. And either staying with the palms here if that feels good, to hold the belly, hold the core, or bringing both hands to the heart space. And tucking the chin, giving gratitude to the practice, to all of us for being here and basking in love, and allowing Attar's poem to reverberate through us in that beautiful Persian to really invite us to those layers of knowing the self, light touch, experimenting with the self, and then being consumed with self-love, so that we can emanate both our practice and our love out into the world. Deep breath and release. Thank you for joining me this morning on the practice, on the journey. Thank you.